Welcome to the Nomadic Spaces podcast, where we talk all things interior design, tiny houses, and happy homes. Each week, we explore different interior design strategies, the unique challenges of small spaces, and accessible design solutions to help you create a more beautiful and happier home. Whether you're a fellow tiny house dweller or simply have an interest in interior design, this show has something for you. Hi folks, your host Sarah here. I am a professional interior designer and I run my own business, Suka Interior Design, where I transform spaces all over the country. I'm also a realtor here in Asheville, North Carolina, where I live with my pup Elvis in a vintage travel trailer that I renovated into my tiny dream home. Thank you so much for being here. If you like what you hear, please consider leaving a review, hitting some stars, subscribing, and sharing this show. It's how little shows like this survive. All right, let's get into today's episode. Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Nomadic Spaces podcast. Today's episode, we are going to talk about how to find the right interior designer. And I'm going to be talking about Asheville more specifically, but a lot of the content in this episode is applicable to any location and things you'll want to consider hiring an interior designer anywhere in the world. So I hope you'll still find value from this. Let's get into it. So I live in Asheville, North Carolina, although I do projects all over the country. My primary residence is in Asheville. It's a very special place. If you haven't been, there are stunning views of the Blue Ridge Mountains. There's a very eclectic downtown that has a huge art, culture, music. The city has a lot of character all on its own. So if you're lucky enough to live here, you probably want your living space to reflect that same charm. And if you're lucky enough to stay here or have a property here, you're going to want to capture that charm in your home for your renters or for yourself while you're visiting. As an Asheville interior designer, I help people like you create spaces that are not only beautiful and functional, but also tailored to your life. Whether you're building a mountain retreat, renovating a historic bungalow, or giving your home a fresh modern look, the right interior designer in Asheville can help bring your vision to life. But with so many talented designers in the area, how do you choose the right one? Here is my guide to help you navigate that process and find a designer who is the perfect fit for you and your project. I truly believe that the right interior designer can make all the difference in creating a space that feels like home. It's not just a bit about picking out pretty furniture or trending colors. It's really about finding someone who understands your vision, has the experience and talent to bring it to life in a way that works for you. And that is why I am so passionate about making sure that my clients connect with the right designer, even if that isn't me. Every project is personal, and it's so important to me that you find someone who is the best fit for your particular style, needs, personality, budget, and timeline. And if for any reason I'm not that right match, I will always try to point you in the direction of other designers or maybe resources that are better suited for the project. The most important thing to me is that you work with someone you fully respect and trust and feel supported by and is excited about your project from start to finish. I've worked with a lot of homeowners, and one thing is always clear. Design can be overwhelming. You may have a vision, but figuring out how to execute it, like choosing colors and furniture and layouts and materials, can quickly turn into a stressful process. And as an interior designer, I save my clients time and money and a whole lot of frustration and overwhelm. I help you turn your ideas into the reality while keeping everything on track and on budget. With my expertise, you'll avoid the common mistakes that can derail a project, and you'll end up with a home that truly reflects your personality and lifestyle. Hiring an interior designer isn't just about paint colors or furniture. It's really about creating the space that works for you. And the right designer will ensure that your space is more than just aesthetically pleasing, that it is also functional, and that it is truly enhancing your particular everyday life and achieves your property goals. What makes Asheville interior design unique? Asheville has a style all its own. The city's blend of mountain charm, artistic flair, and eco-conscious vibes really influences how we design spaces here. Whether you're looking for a rustic mountain retreat or a contemporary downtown loft, maybe it's a historic home where we're looking to kind of blend that old and new, the best Asheville interior designers will know how to reflect the spirit of the city while making sure your space feels personal and unique and related to the property itself. What sets me and other local designers apart is our understanding of Asheville's character. We know the community, we know how to incorporate the local materials, support the regional artisans, and blend functionality with beauty. Whether it's adding a handcrafted piece from one of Asheville's many talented artists, or maybe it's utilizing locally sourced materials like live edge, as an example, just to complement your home's natural surroundings, we make the space space feel like it's an authentic part of Asheville's landscape. As a realtor and interior designer in Asheville, I also have a deep understanding of how to make your home work for the region's climate and your specific lifestyle. Whether you want to maximize mountain views or create a cozy retreat to escape the occasional cold snap, I know how to design a space that complements Asheville's environment and your everyday needs. Let's talk about how to find the right Asheville interior designer for your project. Finding the right designer isn't always easy, but by taking a few simple steps, you can make sure you're choosing someone who is the best fit for your project. And here is how I would recommend going about that. Number one, define your style and needs. Before you reach out to a designer, take some time to think about what you want. And it's okay if you don't know exactly what you want. That's what the designer is there to do. But think about what's your style. Do you like, a more modern minimalism, or do you like kind of a more rustic, cozy vibe? Are you redesigning one room, or are we looking at kind of updating an entire home? Are we building a new home? And it's okay if you're not sure. Again, a good designer will help you clarify your vision, and having a general idea of what you want will make it easier to find someone who aligns with your tastes. They'll be able to help you go into more detail, but that will just help if you have a basic idea that you can articulate about what you are looking to do. That will make the process all the smoother. Knowing your priorities will help you communicate your goals more clearly, which will make the design journey more efficient and more enjoyable.
Hi friends, I hope you are enjoying this show. Listening to podcasts and reading blogs like this is a great way to gain knowledge. But to really make change, you need to take action. Luckily, taking action doesn't have to be overwhelming, timely, or expensive. My Desk Refresh Guide is a great resource you can download totally free from the link in the show notes. This guide will break down the redesign process into simple, actionable steps with tangible results to transform your space without spending a cent. Now let's get back to the episode.
Number 2, do your research. Asheville is full of interior designers, and each of us has our own unique approach, timeline, process, and design philosophy. So I recommend to start by looking at portfolios. Most Asheville interior designers will have a website or an Instagram page where you can see examples of their work. So take a look at the projects they've done and see which ones resonate with you. Here are some things you might want to pay attention to while you are reviewing an interior design portfolio. Look for designs that speak to you and feel like a good fit to your space. Look for testimonials or reviews from past clients. Google is a great resource for that. And whether their work aligns with your project type. So example, renovations, new builds, or a very specific design style. Doing your research, narrowing down your options will help ensure that you're choosing the right designer from the start who best matches your style and needs. Number 3 is ask the right questions. Once you've narrowed down a few potential interior designers, reach out to schedule consultations. In my process, this is called the connection call, but this is really where the magic happens, because during the call, you're going to get a feel for the designer's approach, style, personality, communication needs. And here are a few questions you might want to consider when you have that call with your potential designer. 1, what is your design process like from start to finish? I won't go through mine here, but it is on my website if you're curious. How do you manage timelines and budgets? Do you work with local artisans or craft people? Can you provide references from past clients? These questions will help you get a better understanding of how a designer works and whether that process is going to work with your needs. And a good designer will be happy to answer these questions and make sure you feel comfortable and confident moving forward with them. Number 4, trust the connection. And this is one of the most important things I tell clients. Trust the connection. Working with a designer is a big partnership. And depending on the project, you're likely going to be spending a lot of time together. So that is why it's so crucial that you pick someone that you feel comfortable with and who listens to your needs, makes you feel heard. You should be able to communicate easily and feel like your designer truly understands your vision and is doing everything they can to implement that at the end of the day. So this is where I'm going to get personal. We're going to talk about what to expect when working with me, because obviously every designer has their own approach and process, and I don't want to speak for anyone else. So when you hire me as your Asheville interior designer, here is what the process looks like, more or less. First, we'll start with a connection call, and this is a 30-minute free connection call just for us to do exactly what it sounds like, connect. We're going to talk about your projects. I'm going to listen closely to your ideas. I'm going to ask questions to fully understand your needs and your goals and get a sense of how you use your space and and again, what your property goals are. We'll talk about the budget, timeline, and overall goals for the whole project. Next would come a design proposal. This will break down the project, and once that is signed off on, we will get started. Depending on your project timeline, this could be a few weeks or months out from our start date. Again, totally depends on your project and needs. Once we start the design, we will go into the design planning phase, and I will create a concept that includes ideas for furniture, for colors, for layout, any renovations that we're doing, any design elements that reflect your style and vision. I create both two-dimensional floor plans as well as 3D renders, so you really can feel and see and visualize what these things are going to look like in your updated space. I present this to you, we go over everything to make sure we're on the same page, and then we tweak as needed. But once you approve the design, if it's a full service project, I take care of all the details, and if it's a design plan, the client will take over from here and finish the project out by placing the orders and setting everything up. But again, in a full service design, I will take care of these details. So I'm going to get the furniture ordered, materials, accessories. I'll be coordinating with the local vendors, craftspeople, if you have contractors. I also handle the logistics directly with the receiving warehouse, so you don't have to worry about coordinating the contractors or deliveries or installation. My goal with full service design is to make sure everything is handled seamlessly and according to plan, so you get the outcome of your dreams in a very stress-free way without having to lift a finger. How can I help you create your dream space in Asheville? At the end of the day, it is all about creating a space that feels like home for you. It's personal. It's different for all of us. I have helped so many Asheville homeowners turn their design dreams into reality, and nothing makes me more proud and fulfilled than seeing the joy on my client's face when they walk into the newly transformed space for the first time. Here's one of my favorite quotes from a past client's experience. I was totally overwhelmed by the thought of furnishing our new home, but Sarah's vision is incredible. She helped us design our whole house. We absolutely love her laid-back vibe, but excellent sense of who we are, and she has such cool ideas. So if you are ready to make your dream home a reality, here is how you can get that process started. Number 1, take a little time to define your style and goals in the space. Again, doesn't have to be a lot. Just having a general idea of what you would like to be done, what your outcome looks like, will be very helpful. Then do a little Google research. Again, look at some interior designers in the area, look at their reviews, look at their portfolios and websites, and find a few whose work and experience resonates with you. Number 3, schedule a free connection call to discuss the project with them in more detail. The right designer can help you create a space that you love to live in, that reflects your personality and meets your property goals. So whether you're working on a small renovation or a full-scale remodel, I am here and would love to help you turn your vision into a reality. You can reach out to me through the email linked in my show notes. You can also go to my website, sukainteriordesign.com. You can also send me a DM on Instagram, where I hang out often, and my handle is @SukaInteriorDesign. That is SUKKHA Interior Design. As always, I so appreciate you listening to this episode, and until next week, home happy. I hope today's episode was helpful and inspiring. My goal with this show is to help others make change that transforms their space and achieve their design goals. But just absorbing content, even brilliant content like this, doesn't get results. Taking action does. If you're still listening, you might be ready to fully accomplish your design goals. My challenge to you is to commit to taking one action right now before you don't. Taking action might look like booking a design project jumpstart, or maybe it's downloading the desk refresh guide, or just signing up for my mailing list. Maybe it's scheduling a complimentary connection call with me to talk more about your design goals in detail. You can find out more about all of these fun things I just mentioned and contact me directly through my website, which is sukainteriordesign.com. That is SUKKHAINTERIORDESIGN.com. I love to connect, so please don't be a stranger. As always, thanks for being here and being a part of this community. If you liked what you heard, please take a second to review, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. It's truly the easiest way to support me and this podcast. Until next week, take care and home happy.